It's a very important and difficult question to address, because I think it's a very complex situation. I think rather than think of it as governments, particular governments giving particular aid or agencies giving particular kinds of support, I think we need to think of the issue of funding of political activity in general as a major issue. And I believe that one of the most fundamental things that everyone should be doing is total transparency, declaration of everything. But I would hate for this to be limited to only such institutions as you were mentioning, because there is a lot of money that is coming into the region and that's trying to play a part in the political situation. And I am sure there are many ways of dividing or having typologies of this money, but I think it is important to at least begin with a preliminary typology. At least I'll speak of my own country. There is the money that you're mentioning, so that there are some US agencies and institutions and UK agencies and institutions and European agencies and institutions who are trying to set funds for democracy building or for media development or for whatever. So there is that category. Then there is multinational kind of aid and support, so be it the IMF or the World Bank or the UN, and these are like multinational institutions. But there is also regional aid that's coming from particular countries, especially Gulf countries. And I won't mention specific countries, but there's definitely some considerable aid coming, okay? Which has to also be considered. It's not just US money or UK that has to be considered. Fourthly, which is extremely important, because Libya is a rich country, despite the fact that the richness did not reach the people, but it is a rich country. And over the last 10 years or so, around Saif al-Islam Gaddafi, around Abdullah Sanusi, around people like that, the other children of Gaddafi, there developed circles of wealth, okay? Of huge wealth, roughly in the billions and sometimes in the hundreds of millions, concentrated in very few hands. And these individuals have circles of followers, so you get another circle of tens of millions, and then you get another circles of a couple of millions, and then you get another circle of hundreds of thousands. We are seeing in Libya the phenomenon of this money coming in now. And some of these individuals who have this vast wealth are the prime suspects in corruption charges. What is interesting is some of them did aid the revolution as it was happening. So as they got rid of their masters, so for example, you'd find the partner of Abdullah Sanusi. Abdullah Sanusi is no longer, but his partner is still active and helped the revolution, and may now own newspapers or media, and may now even support even religious scholars or tribal scholars who will bless his work. So what I'm trying to say is the problematic of funding has to be addressed at the global level, Western, regional, and local. And in my view, when you look at the numbers, in terms of at least the regional and the local, are massively more than anything that has been coming from anything international or multinational. So I think it's simplistic to just reduce it to American aid or to UK aid. You need to look at having a fair playing field for everyone. Now we only have 6 more months for elections, and people who have money now have a distinct advantage. And people have money and organizational skills, either by buying organizational skills from outside or being part of transnational parties that have a history of organizational skills, have a distinct advantage. I believe that if we are going to develop true democracies, we need to level this playing field. And number one thing, very important, is for everybody to declare what money they're bringing in, what are the sources, who is giving what, to whom, and secondly, to give access to everybody, to all young people, to organizational skills and training across the board, so that it's not unfairly given to one segment versus the other. I'm sorry for taking so long.